Hey friends, thank you so much for joining us on this 30-day devotional towards better relationships through my new book called The People Factor. And once again, if you haven't picked it up, I want to make sure that you drop everything that you're doing after this call, this devotion, and make sure that you go and pick it up, download it on your Kindle. It's available everywhere that books are sold. I know that it's going to be a tremendous blessing and add some significant value to your life. So we have been taking time each day to just have conversations with major influencers, people of significance in different walks of life. And today, I am tremendously honored to have a major man of entrepreneurship, business success, Scott Duffy, who is a serial entrepreneur and an executive. As a matter of fact, he sold his last company to Richard Branson of Virgin. And so many of us know who Richard Branson is, a tremendous man. And so Scott is one of the leading experts in the world for launching new businesses, new products, and new services. As a matter of fact, he's got a new book coming out in March called Launch. And so we are two authors, and we are kind of traveling down the same path. But Scott, it's great to have you with me on today. You have accomplished a tremendous amount in the area of entrepreneurship and business. And I'm so glad that you could add a little bit of value because, and not just a little bit of value, significant value, because I think that you will be able to share in the dialogue about the people factor from a fresh perspective, from a business perspective. So let's take a little bit of time and let's talk about chapter 5. One of the chapters that's near and dear to my heart. I call it the law of selection. And the truth of that chapter is that you cannot be friends with everyone. So tell me a little bit about why you think that that's significant from your field of influence. I mean, you live all day with major individuals. You and I were just talking before we got started about you being able to go to a game with Magic Johnson. You sold your last company to Richard Branson. I mean, you have done some tremendous things, and you live at a level of life and interact with individuals in a very significant way. Why do you think that this principle in the book, or maybe even the book in general, is significant for you and really in the circles that you travel in?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to this program, and I'm a huge fan. You know that I am. I'm a huge fan of your work.
Thank you.
If you're listening today, I just have to say you have got to go and buy this book because it is fantastic. But more than that, it will help to create change in you, positive change that you'll be able to use to help influence others as well. Awesome. And so to me, that's very important. But as it relates to chapter 5 and people and having the right people around you, I really got my first lesson, I think, in this particular principle when I was working for Tony Robbins. I was a young guy. I was around 20, 21 years old. And it was incredible to see the people that he had around him. And what I learned during that period is that our lives are really all about, they're an average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So as an example, if I said to you, think of the 5 people that you spend the most time with outside your family, and write down what each one of those people learn. And then add it all up and divide by 5. The average is what you earn. And you take that example and you apply that to any area of your life. You know, people who are fit, hang around fit people. People who are spiritual and they've committed their lives to God, hang around people that are spiritual and have committed their lives to God. And so, you know, what I learned is I could not be friends with everyone. I learned that I had to select the people, those 5 people, and really be intentional about who I let into my life because the influence that they would have.
Wow, that's incredible. So our lives are literally the average of the people that are around us.
That's true.
How do you, with all of the business success that you've had and selling companies and you birthing companies and really being a master of how to take a company from the creative idea phase really through the launch phase to the success phase? How do you feel like that principle applies even in the areas of business? Because I'm sure there may be people watching us who are entrepreneurs who are trying to take their business maybe to the next level in 2014. Are these principles even applicable in that realm?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And it reminds me of a story. I don't know if you've ever gone I guess you call it fishing for crabs. But here's the thing that I learned, because I've done it before. And when you go out and you go and you get crabs, what you typically do is you'll take those crabs and you pull them out of the water and you put them in a bucket.
Yeah.
And you take that crab and you put it in a bucket. You take the next, you put it in a bucket. Now, here's the thing. If you want to walk to the other side of the boat, maybe to grab another crab, do you have to put a lid on top of that bucket? The answer is absolutely not. And the reason is, there's a funny thing about crabs. You see, as soon as they get placed in the bucket, they all start to reach for the lip and they try and get themselves out.
Wow.
Right? But as soon as one crab kind of shows initiative, as soon as one crab kind of gets themselves over the side, all the other crabs stop reaching for the lip, and instead they go right after that leader's legs.
Wow.
And they pull them back in. In fact, crabs become so aggressive that they will bite the other crab's legs off. And the question is, who in your life, when you're launching a business, is that crab trying to pull you back into that bucket? Wow. Who is holding you down and not pushing you up, right? Or pulling you up? And that's really what we need to be careful. That's one of the reasons I love your book, because the power of people and the power of relationships, that's where you come from, and that's what you talk about. And as an entrepreneur, what I've learned, that is where everything starts. Wow. It's the people around us, it's the relationships. Are they pulling us up, or are they like that crab and they're pulling us back in?
Wow. Well, Scott, very well said. I can imagine that so many individuals that are watching this are probably re-examining some of the relationships that they have, because I think the truth is, many times we think we have friends that, we think they're friends, we think they're adding value to our life, but in reality, they are probably the crabs pulling us back down. So
that's true.
Wow, man, it's amazing that principle holds true in almost every part of our life, not only in business, but in relationships and marriage. And so it's refreshing to hear that and to hear from you. Thank you so much, man, for taking time and just adding value to this conversation. It's an honor to hear that the book is a blessing to you. I look forward to reading your new book launch when it comes out in March. Thank you so much, man. We got on a separate occasion, we'll talk about the Lakers and this Paul Gasol issue, man. But thank you so much for everything, and we wish you much success continued in your businesses. Hey, we just finished having a brief discussion about my new book called The People Factor with Scott Duffy, a tremendous business maven, serial entrepreneur, Laker fan, and just an all-around great guy. And he also recommends that you go and pick up this book. Thanks so much,
Scott. Right now. Right now.
Awesome. Hey, you guys heard him. Go and pick it up today. If you haven't gotten it already, take care. We'll see you on tomorrow.